If you haven't noticed by now, I really enjoy making predictions. Over the past couple of months, I've made several videos breaking down players I like and dislike heading into the 2026 season, and just last week I released a video with my MLB award picks. If you haven't seen those yet, feel free to check them out after this one. In this video, I'm making 5 bold predictions for the 2026 MLB season. Like my previous videos, I think the reasoning behind these predictions makes sense. But in the case of these predictions, if even a few of them actually happened, they would probably come as a surprise to the average MLB fan. So with that said, let's get into the first prediction. For the first pick, I think that the Mets and Orioles will both finish the season with top 10 starting rotation ERAs in all of baseball. In 2025, the Mets starting rotation posted a 4.13 ERA, which ranked 18th in Major League Baseball. However, for much of the first half of the season, the Mets had one of the best, if not the best, rotations in the league. Through June 12th, the Mets had the best record in baseball, largely thanks to their starting pitching, which had a league-best 2.79 ERA during that stretch. The problem was a lack of depth. When injuries sidelined Griffin Canning, Tyler McGill, and Kodai Senga, the Mets were forced to rely on openers and veteran minor league pitchers to fill innings. As a result, the rotation struggled badly in the second half, posting the 4th worst ERA in baseball at 5.27 from June 13th through the end of the season. The Mets ultimately went from having the best record in baseball to missing the postseason entirely. Heading into 2026, the Mets rotation appears to be in a much stronger position, with their biggest weakness from last season, starting pitching depth, clearly addressed. Firstly, the Mets now have a frontline starter in Freddie Peralta, who's coming off a career year in which he posted a 2.7 ERA with 204 strikeouts across 176 and 2/3 innings. While he may experience some regression given favorable BABIP and home run luck in 2025, he still provides the Mets with a legitimate ace that they lacked last season. The Mets will also get a full season from top prospect and my Rookie of the Year favorite, Nolan McLean. I discussed him in detail in my awards prediction video, but I believe that there's a strong chance McLean could put together an even better season than Peralta and receive Cy Young consideration. Beyond those two high-end arms, the Mets also have significant depth and several pitchers with upside. Kodai Senga has shown flashes of brilliance but has dealt with injuries and inconsistency. Sean Manaea's unique arm angle and strong underlying metrics suggest that he could be a bounce-back candidate if he stays healthy. In addition, the Mets have 2025 All-Star David Peterson along with Clay Holmes, Tobias Myers, Jonah Tong, Christian Scott, and Jack Wenninger as potential rotation options at various points in 2026. Unlike in 2025 when injuries quickly exposed their lack of depth, the Mets now have multiple capable options who can step in if needed. Given their combination of top-end talent, upside, and improved depth, I'm very confident the Mets rotation will take a major step forward in 2026. The Orioles starting rotation struggled badly in 2025, posting a 4.65 ERA that ranked 26th in Major League Baseball. Aside from a fantastic, though likely unsustainable 110-inning stretch from Trevor Rogers, most of the rotation either underperformed or dealt with injuries throughout the season. Looking ahead to 2026, the Orioles rotation looks noticeably different. For one, Tomoyuki Sugano is no longer on the roster. The 35-year-old who led the team in starts last season struggled, finishing with a 4.64 ERA while allowing a league-worst 33 home runs and striking out just 106 batters across 157 innings. Baltimore also added 2 starters, Shane Baz and Chris Bassett, who immediately strengthened their rotation. Although Baz posted a 4.87 ERA in 166 1/3 innings in 2025, his underlying metrics were far more encouraging. With a 3.88 expected FIP, a 3.95 SIERA, and some poor BABIP luck, he's emerged as one of the more popular bounce-back candidates heading into 2026. Bassett, meanwhile, is a reliable mid-rotation arm who will likely provide 170-plus innings with an ERA around 4. The Orioles will also benefit from a healthy Kyle Bradish, who I selected as my dark horse pick to win the AL Cy Young Award this season. Alongside those 3 pitchers is Trevor Rogers, who almost certainly won't repeat his sub-2 ERA from last year, but remains a very effective starter. Even with expected regression in BABIP and home run rate, Rogers' 2.82 FIP indicates that an ERA in the mid-3s in 2026 is more than possible. Beyond that frontline group, the Orioles have additional rotation options in Dean Kremer, Zach Eflin, and Cade Povich. While Eflin and Povich struggled in 2025, both experienced significant spikes in BABIP and home run to fly ball rate, suggesting some room for improvement. With a potential front 4 of Bradish, Baz, Rogers, and Bassett, along with a solid depth behind them, the Orioles rotation has both high floor and considerable upside heading into the 2026 season. For my second prediction, I'm predicting the Kansas City Royals to win the AL Central, with Cole Ragans taking home the Cy Young Award, Carter Jensen winning Rookie of the Year, and the Royals producing 4 30-plus home run hitters in 2026. In my awards prediction video, I already picked Ragans for Cy Young and Jensen for Rookie of the Year. While researching for that video though, I started to convince myself that the Royals could actually win the AL Central, even with the Tigers entering the season as heavy favorites. Since I already discussed Ragans and Jensen in detail in that video, I won't spend too much time on them here. Instead, I want to focus more on the Royals roster as a whole and explain why I think their offense could take a big step forward. Beyond Ragans, the Royals have very solid pitching staff, which includes Chris Bubic, Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo, and Noah Cameron. Last season, the Royals posted a 3.73 team ERA, the 6th best mark in baseball, and there's a strong chance they remain one of the better pitching staffs in the league in 2026. Where I expect the biggest improvement is on the offensive side. I believe that the Royals could have 7 or even 8 hitters in their projected everyday lineup finish the season with a WRC plus above 100. To put that in perspective, in 2025, the Royals had just 3 players with at least 200 plate appearances, Bobby Witt Jr., Maikel Garcia, and Vinny Pasquantino, who finished with a WRC plus over 100. I also expect their power numbers to improve significantly. In 2025, the Royals hit just 159 home runs, the 5th lowest total in baseball, and only had 2 players reach the 30 home run mark. Looking ahead to 2026, Pasquantino, Bobby Witt Jr., and Salvador Perez all have strong chances of hitting 30-plus home runs, while Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen both possess the type of power profiles that could also push them past that mark. Out of those 5 players, I'm predicting that at least 4 will reach 30 home runs. The Royals' recent ballpark adjustment should help that outcome as well, with both the left and right field walls moved in by roughly 10 feet and with the wall height reduced from 10 feet to 8.5 feet. Changes that should make Kauffman Stadium more favorable for home run hitters. My next prediction is that there will be 4 new division winners in 2026. In 2025, there were only 2 new division winners, the Blue Jays and Mariners, while the Guardians, Phillies, Brewers, and Dodgers all repeated as division champions. The last time we saw 4 new division winners was 2021, although that followed the shortened 2020 season, which made year-to-year changes less surprising. While I think the Dodgers should comfortably repeat as NL West champions, and the Mariners appear to be the strongest team in the AL West, I expect the other divisions to produce new winners. In the AL East, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Orioles all look like very strong teams, so I'm fairly confident that the Blue Jays won't repeat, even though I think they'll likely remain a playoff contender. In the AL Central, I've already predicted the Royals to win the division, but even if that doesn't happen, the Tigers seem like the next most likely team to take the title. In the NL East, I expect the Mets to bounce back in 2026, while the Braves, despite early injury issues and the suspension of Jerickson Profile, should still be a playoff caliber team and a contender for the division. Finally, in the NL Central, although it's usually foolish to bet against the Brewers, I see the Cubs as a fairly comfortable favorites to win the division. My next prediction is that Gabriel Moreno and Francisco Alvarez will both finish in the top 5 among catchers in F4 in 2026. I've already discussed Moreno in one of my breakout hitters videos, so I'll briefly revisit why I believe he can emerge as one of the best catchers in baseball next season. In 2025, Moreno looked poised for the long-anticipated breakout before suffering a hairline fracture in his right index finger that sidelined him for more than 2 months, limiting him to just 83 games. Even in that shortened season, he produced a 340 WOBA, a 117 WRC+, while accumulating 2.7 F4, strong production that suggests an even higher ceiling over a full season. Moreno also made meaningful improvements in his quality of contact. Both his barrel rate and hard hit rate reached career highs, while he maintained an above-average exit velocity. Alongside those improvements, Moreno continued to show strong plate discipline. His whiff rate, chase rate, and strikeout rate all remained below league average, while his walk rate stayed above league average. Beyond his offensive production, Moreno's defensive value remains elite. Despite missing significant time in 2025, he's still ranked among the league's best defensive catchers. In just 83 games, Moreno recorded a fielding run of 8, placing him in the 90th percentile across all players and 7th among catchers. Ultimately, the biggest factor determining Moreno's value in 2026 will be his health. When he's on the field, he's already one of the best defensive catchers in baseball, supported by elite framing. With strong plate discipline and improving quality of contact, Moreno has a very realistic path to finish as a top 5 catcher if he can stay healthy for a full season. The bolder of the 2 picks is Alvarez, who hasn't fully broken out after being considered the top prospect in all of baseball. Injuries limited him to just 76 games in 2025, but he still produced a career-high 124 WRC+. That improvement was driven by career highs in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and walk rate. Alvarez's quality of contact metrics were also outstanding. His average exit velocity and hard hit rate ranked him in the 96th percentile, while his 12.1% barrel rate placed him in the 81st percentile. While Alvarez still has some clear offensive weaknesses, his whiff rate, zone contact rate, and pull air rate all ranked among the lowest in baseball. His overall offensive profile remains extremely strong, especially for a catcher. Defensively, however, Alvarez took a step back in 2025. His ranking as one of the better pitch framers in baseball from 2023 to 2024, he graded as one of the worst in 2025, resulting in a fielding run value of -6. However, some of that decline was likely due to a recurring thumb injury that eventually required surgery. If Alvarez stays healthy and pairs his 2025 offensive production with the defensive performance he showed in either 2023 or 2024, he has a very real chance to emerge as one of the best catchers in baseball and finish inside the top 5 in F4 at the position. My final bold prediction is that both the Pirates and the Marlins will finish as at least 500 teams in 2026. This is easily the boldest prediction I'm making, but there are real reasons to think that both teams could surprise in 2026. The Marlins finished just 4 games under 500 in 2025, and the Pirates appear to be significantly improved heading into the 2026 season. Starting with the Marlins, I actually like a lot about their roster. Looking at their pitching staff, I think there's a good chance we see a rotation that includes Sandy Alcantara, Yuri Perez, Max Meyer, Robbie Snelling, and Thomas White at some point during the season. That's a really intriguing mix of established talent and high-end young arms. There's also a lot to be excited about on the offensive side. Players like Agustin Ramirez, Xavier Edwards, Otto Lopez, Kyle Stowers, Jacob Marcy, and Owen Casey all bring interesting offensive upside. I also don't mind the addition of Christopher Morel. While his swing and miss issues are obvious, his quality of contact metrics are excellent. If he can even make modest improvements to his whiff rate, he could become another above-average bat in the Marlins lineup. Another reason for optimism is how the Marlins finished the 2025 season. After a slow start that left them 16 games under 500 on June 12th, they closed the year with a 54-42 record the rest of the way. If they can come close to carrying that level of play over into 2026, it's not hard to imagine them finishing a few games better than last season and reaching the 500 mark. Turning to the Pirates, the first thing that stands out is their starting rotation. Paul Skeens is already the second best pitcher in baseball, Braxton Ashcraft looks poised for a breakout season, Bubba Chandler is one of the most exciting pitching prospects in the game, and Mitch Keller consistently provides around 175 innings with an ERA in the low 4s. Once Jared Jones returns from injury sometime around June, this group could have the upside to become one of the best rotations in all of baseball. Where the Pirates may have improved the most, however, is their lineup. They added Ryan O'Hearn and Marcelo Zuna in free agency, and acquired Brandon Lau, Jake Mangum, and Yostinson Garcia, aka The Password, via trade. In addition, while he likely won't make the opening day roster, Connor Griffin, the top prospect in baseball, could still end up getting 500 or more plate appearances for the Pirates in 2026. Even projection systems see improvement coming. According to Fangraph's ZIP projections, the Pirates could have as many as 8 hitters finish with a WRC plus of 100 or better. To put that into perspective, in 2025 the Pirates had just 2 players reach that mark, and none of them had more than 450 plate appearances. With an elite rotation and a much improved offense, a 10-win improvement for Pittsburgh in 2026 doesn't seem out of the question. So those are my 5 bold predictions for the 2026 MLB season. I'm curious as to which of these projections you think is most likely to happen, and which one do you think has absolutely no chance. Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll have more MLB analysis, predictions, and breakdowns coming throughout the season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.